Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here for Joe, Ashita Joe, episode 7. Last time on Joe, we had an episode that was pretty much about torture, and maybe worse, about meaningless torture, like for no reason, just for the feeling of violence and the desire to be a bad guy. Of course, this is part of a narrative. We're setting up characters for Joe to knock down in order to demonstrate how cool he is, and in part to demonstrate what he's learning from Dante. Some people pointed out in the comments that actually Joe doesn't really trounce the group of bad guys with his jab. He just does it on his own and then uses the jab at the end because he wants to. He just sort of decides to on a lark. And mentioning that maybe in sort of modern sensibilities, it would make a lot more sense if he were to be on the back foot and like losing the fight and then use the jab and overcome. But that's not how it happens, and that's perfectly fine. Strangely, it's a little bit more naturalistic to have it happen this way, which is weird because I just said that we are aware that there's this narrative context and this big ape-like gorilla man is like a villain for us to defeat and stuff, and it's all part of a narrative framing. So it's odd that a piece I can defend as that I can defend that piece as naturalistic because he decides when he's got the upper hand to utilize a new technique instead of when he's on the back foot. I think it's really cool because it indicates something about norms and like ways of doing a piece of story that is important and is something that we've touched on in Joe before. There might not be a huge like background set of works to draw examples from for the people creating this work because there weren't as many, and Joe is part of the flood of things that will create that background of what we expect as normal. And this is just something that I kind of have to constantly be of two minds about. And I think that's cool and fine and a fun and valuable exercise to be both like invested in what it's doing on the surface and how I would judge it as a person in the modern age, and then what it's doing on the surface and how I would judge it having never seen anything before ever, and wondering, do these people making this story have the opportunity to draw from the pieces of media that have created the idea in my mind that the way this story goes is that Joe gets on the back foot and then he overcomes by taking on the thing that he's learned? I don't fucking know. I don't know. I don't know whether that's available. But it turns out really triumphant and really powerful. Joe overcomes dramatic torture that we spend a good chunk of the episode indicating to us, the audience, through these twisting, contorted faces and this repetition of painful experience, that he's really hurting. And it's a painful thing to watch. It's like as hard to watch as just about any horror or body horror stuff that I've ever seen. And it's from a long time ago, but the sheer violence of it, the sheer visceralness of it, and the pain that we get on his contorted expressions completely sells me on the experience. And then that converts to catharsis when we turn the tables. It converts to a reason to root for Joe. Holy shit. Not only are we rooting for him, not only is he taking on like a dozen bad dudes who are violent and vicious and willing to hurt and kill and stuff, some of whom are way bigger than him, he's also doing it after being beaten to a pulp, right? Being jumped on, being smashed, being not able to breathe, passing out completely, and he gets up, shing! He's got the fire in his eyes, the glint is there, the shimmer is there, and he's wailing on these dudes, absolutely crushing them. And I think I said in the last episode that this is like a picture of what's to come. Yeah, you beat Joe down, and now he's gonna get up off the mat, and he's gonna still fight it through. We're setting up like the backbone, the spine of the character. Who is he, and how far can you tear him down before he bounces back? And we just find out. We just find out in the last episode. That's how far you can tear him down, and then you better be ready because you're gonna get fucked up. He's awesome. He's a wild beast, and you're going to push him and push him and push him, and then he's going to bite back. Awesome. We had our B plot. We continued to follow Dante and the kids on the outside, worrying and wondering and trying. Dante fell into his alcoholism again, and then just as quickly fell back out of it as he realized from a bit of conversation that Joe had actually read the note, that there's hope, that there's a chance, that whatever Joe says on the outside, go away, old man, I don't fucking need you, I would never read some stupid note that you stupid do. The truth is much more complicated. And I think this is the thing that should be getting to us too. And it is. It is. It's like, who really is Joe? What's really going on there? Oh, he's just a delinquent, easy to dismiss. Yeah, then why does he carry around a plan for how he's going to revitalize the city? As silly as it is, if he's just a purely selfish delinquent who just cares about fighting and having his own, why do that? All these little elements that raise questions about who he is and who he might be able to become. There's hope in Joe. He's like the poster child of it. And it starts with him being this delinquent, this asshole, this drifter. But there are little glimmers of hope throughout. The first one that Dante sees is his actual talent. But as we're going on, we're starting to see pieces of his humanity. And it's almost as though he's in the greatest denial of those things. I don't know why. I can surmise, I can guess. I could guess that it's like a form of weakness to be human as such, to be vulnerable like that. But I don't know. Joe seems to continuously deny his humanity. When people present him a circumstance and they're like, okay, here's a good circumstance, all you have to do is accept the cake. Fuck you and your cake. Where's that coming from? Where's this tension in this character? And how is he going to grow up out of it? Maybe 30 fucking episodes from now, maybe forever into the future, but who will he become? Who's that light underneath? So today I drew a fist. I don't know. It felt like the right thing to do. Obviously, it's modeled off of my own. And then I wanted to draw like a symbol around it or a feeling. I wanted it to be punching through something, and then somehow it ended up being kind of Gurren Lagann but flipped upside down because these are sort of Kamina glasses almost a little bit. And that just makes me think that the fist is a drill, and the drill will pierce the heavens, and Joe has a fist. And when I work back from it that way, everything makes sense. And I don't know how that makes sense, but it makes sense. Your fist is a drill. Your drill will pierce the heavens. Joe has a fist. Okay, Joe, how are you going to use that fist? And what's going to happen to him now that he has demolished his squad of friends in prison? I got a couple of theories. One, he gets solitary confinement because he's considered too dangerous to be with the Gen Pop. Reasonable, but expensive, which means they'll probably put him back in with the Gen Pop eventually. Two, some people will put some respect on his name, because holy shit. Three, some people will be really mad and be trying to kill him, because holy shit, guy beat them down. That's all of them. That's my whole three. In terms of what the organization will do, what the police and the jail, the prison itself will do, separate him. In terms of what the homies will do, I hope we meet some homies. Like, maybe we meet some people who are like, hey, heard you took out Big Bad McGoogle. I don't remember his name. Big Bad McGoogle's his name now. That's pretty cool. He was a dick to me. Right? He killed my friend. I don't like him. Now we're friends. But I don't know. And somehow, I think we're going to have to find organized fighting in prison. I could be wrong. It could just be these disorganized, protect yourself, self-defense type fights for the whole future. But I'm feeling like we really need some kind of, need to meet some other fighters. Okay, that's everything that I have to say here at the beginning of Ashita no Joe episode 7. Let's watch Ashita no Joe episode 7. I've got the episode up and ready to go. Size and version as usual. There will be two versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube, PiP timer to count you down, early access on Patreon. PiP timer, let's go! Don't judge the wolf. I love the warbliness on everything. It's cool. Court. Mm-hmm. Turning it up a little bit. Vibes. General vibes. Lawyer man. Oh, shit. He's gonna shine his shoes or something? This might not go well. It's so cute, though. He's trying so hard. Is that her? Yeah. Yeah, I would expect him to be sent until he's 18. Don't throw the shoe shot, Sachi. Holy shit. Dark fucking courthouse. Okay, order in the court. Oh, this is super interesting. The direction style is so dramatically different from the last episode. We're so slow and plotting comparatively. Ah, fuck. A good impression. Why is he not in handcuffs? A big smile. I'm surprised. So what? I'll be perfectly fine. He's just happy that he doesn't look beaten up. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, Joe. Here's his opportunity. He's gonna crush it. And then I shit on it. Okay. You wanna fight me? Oh, he wants to. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, the girl. Oh, wow. Okay. One thing about the direction is that, like, our attention gets drawn in different directions really interestingly. Like scenes interrupting each other. Hmm. Mr. Judge? Oh boy. Well, that's not a good sign. We got a 3-part commission? I remember. Does he mean her? What the fuck? Don't touch him. Oh my god. I believe this is a public proceeding. Yeah. You work for me, motherfuckers! I thought he was gonna go sovereign citizen. Holy shit. So wait, is his logic that my delinquency keeps you employed? Yeah, go off, Sachi. No, go off, Sachi. He won't make a good impression. So how will he take this? Are we gonna flash back? Whoa. Oh my god. Kids Sports Day. And the hat. He starts out with the hat. Whoa, holy fuck. Oh shit. Because his parents aren't there? Fuck this shit, I'm not going to school. Okay. Well. So he's been on his own since then? Is that what I'm supposed to take from that? That's awesome. Kiddo! Holy shit. Yeah. Oh boy. We don't need to hear any of this. We don't need this info. Look, let him make his bed, Sachi. I get it. It's funny that the judge is just giving us an emotional recap of the thing. Beat up 20 fucking police officers? Oh boy. Oh boy, he laughing. Yeah. Irredeemable. Application denied. No moral compass at all. It's kind of heartbreaking. What got him laughing? What a scene. The directorial style of this episode is really growing on me. How would you characterize that experience, Joe? Hmm. That's true. That's true. And for his own dream. That's true. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Maybe they can connect over this. Maybe they can connect over this. Over not being bullshit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Oh my god, he heard him. It's like the first time. Yeah, but that's the part. It wasn't. I thought he was going to double down and be like, you're right, it is all about money. Okay. But it's not kindness or rehabilitation. It isn't. Wow. Hmm. And you're projecting a dream onto me that I didn't agree to. It's a great point. Guilty. 10 years. 1 year and 1 month. Ooh, it's an island. Yep. Bye, Joe. Island? No visits? Or, honestly, everything's an island, so it's fine. Thoughts? Hose? Not what I meant. Hmm. Pity. Yep. Pathetic. And he can't. It just bounces off. How dare you? How could he forget? It's all he is, man. Holy crap. Wow, the backstory, the choices, the fuck. I love the rain angle. A year of fighting. Give him the time. Click that lock, and away you go, Joe. I love these cool angled rains. They're so fucking cool. Muffled by the rain and fog. Ah! Joel. Eh. Joe! A year and a month. Yeah. Here you are, and you've put yourself here, and you can't choose otherwise. You know? Even when he has the choice, he can't choose a different choice. It's so interesting. As the rain ends. No sandals? Counting the blocks? Okay. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. We're gonna move them every day? It's not that many days. Whoa. A piece of your life doesn't define your whole life. Hard cut. Huh. Silence. Wow. Goodbye, everything. Oh! Hello? Friend? Oh, not friend! Not friend! Anti-friend. Can we be friends? What? Friend? Can we be friend, though? Yes! That's all I was waiting for. I don't want to fight you. Friend? I'm so alone? Friend? Yeah. You're going to a bad place, man. Oh, great. Okay. This is wonderful. You don't know what you're in for, man. This is such a good setup. It should get to you, Joe. Hmm. 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 This is cool. We set up Nishi as a petty fool. Uh, there are monsters there. Good question. Yep. You gotta fight to keep fighting. God, that's a gorgeous background. Oh, the prison island approaches. I'm just gonna do just. Dante. Dante, Dante. I guess I should turn it down a little bit. Don't judge the wolf. Golly, what an episode. What an emotionally laden episode. What a character complexity driven episode. There's a lot here, and I think it all starts with our direction style. I can't quite put my finger on it, but at least in the first half there's this feeling that I get that things are very methodical and very okay, next. Okay, next. Okay, next. And there's a slowness and a willingness to hold on character faces and just let ideas sink in. Like we'll sort of do a scene that raises a question or implies something about characters, and then we'll just hold on it as though the holding serves to confirm the implication without actually going and having the characters say it outright. It's really interesting, and overall it generates the kind of tension that you get when real people are talking and there are things that they're dancing around, things that they don't really want to say about each other, things that are complicated in their history they just don't want to talk about. There's this element of underlying tension in all of the dialogue that's created by the flow of the episode, that at first in the episode I'm like, this episode feels weird and stilted and too slow, almost like we're trying to buy time, like we're trying to fill the episode. And then as it goes on, it's like, whoa, I feel like I've been lulled into a sense of just believing everything. Like I'm just stuck in now. I'm just in it. And suddenly the thing that I thought was kind of bland is all I want to eat more of. Um, I hate myself sometimes that I can only do food analogies. It's so dumb, but But food analogies, there's an episode at some point in Shokugeki no Soma where they're creating like a fried rice dish. I think it's like a classic fried rice dish. And Soma, of course, has worked at a diner, so he creates his classic Soma diner fried rice. And the other chef that he's against creates like an extravagant, spectacular, super fried rice that's like amazing and should, by all intents and purposes, win, right? It's like way better. Because from the first bite, it like smashes you back with amazing flavors and stuff. But at the end of the competition, nobody has finished their bowl of the super rice, and people are asking for seconds of Somas because it's more bland, right? And it's like, well, why? Impossible! How could it possibly be? That's not cooking. Well, too much loaded too soon doesn't sort of whet your appetite. And if you get that balance right, that balance of flavors, it becomes moreish. It starts out as like, well, this is kind of bland, but then the flavor creeps in and it takes over everything, and it just feels like that's the background of everything, and it's just normalized. That's just what you're eating. And suddenly you can't stop eating it. That's what this episode feels like. It's like, oh, things are getting so slow. Whoa, this is really intense. I wonder what's going on between these characters. And then it's like suddenly realization, oh shit, 10 minutes have just gone by and I didn't feel like it was slow. I felt like it was the right pace for the elements that we're experiencing. Okay, let's actually dive into the episode and go piece by piece, because it's chock full of little bits and little visuals that I really like, little elements all throughout that I just want to kind of point at and be like, wow, this is cool. The heck is that? What's this? What's that? That's cool. Okay, and form some ideas around. Rain. Rain is throughout the episode. It's like the first half, and then it sort of fades away toward the second half. It's cool. It adds a lot. It adds this a noise in the back of everything. So throughout a lot of courthouse scenes, there are like rising swells of rain noise that are used to almost punctuate scene transitions or differences. Um, Rain is emotional. It feels like it can be like a rebirth thing, but in this case it's like darkness and claustrophobic, and it confines you. Like being in a fog confines you. Your space, you're limited. You're more limited. There are walls all around you, invisible ones made of vapor, right? But as Sachi screams out through the rain, the voice doesn't carry that far. We're unable to connect to each other. And so the rain feels like isolation. The rain feels like tears. The rain feels like the washing away that will open the floor for a new beginning, but we're not there yet, right? We're not in springtime potential. We're just in the washing. And it hurts. It's sad. We need the court to like us. And what that means to the kids is so different from what it really means. Ends up being quite interesting, but just serves as like a fun joke, I guess, here at the beginning. There's no way he'll be released. And then she's here. Nope. Such a big crime. 1 year and 1 month. A year and a month? Special. Here we just sort of hold these frames. Like we just sort of hold these frames, and Sachi's active, but there are all these moments of just holding, just sitting in the emotion, helpless, kind of like this is what it's going to be, and there's little that we can do about it. So this is just an artifact of the way that it's animated, I suppose, but it ends up conveying something to me. I feel like the court and its proceedings are so big. They're so big that they don't fit on the screen, that our characters can only see a little piece of it, the piece that they're experiencing, and don't really see like the whole thing that they're plugged into. I get that feeling here when we open the doors, and we can't even see the whole doors, right? We're zoomed in on them, and then it opens up and we pull back a little bit, but it feels like we're in a gargantuan maze that we can't comprehend, and we're just little pieces doing little pieces within it, and then we'll be ushered out. You know, we go into this enormous place, and then we leave. Like entering the Emerald City in Oz, it's like huge and everywhere, and we only get to go to one place and see one thing in it, and not understand the reality of the thing. To me, that speaks to the experience of being young and interacting with big institutions. That's what it feels like to interact with courts, to interact with even big schools and stuff. It's very strange. It's very strange to be like a tiny human in an enormous human-run machine and look around you and see people walking from room to room and down these giant hallways and stuff, and understand that you're in the belly of some enormous beast, and it works in its machinery and its machinations in ways that you don't comprehend, that are so far beyond these kids that, like, they're not educated, right? Like, they don't understand some of the fucking words being used, let alone the actual principles that underlie the justice system. It's all big and complicated, and we're supposed to find our way in it. And that's really hard. It's really hard. It's just a feeling that I get from these scenes, and it's a feeling that I get entirely from the visuals and from the vibe of it. It's very cool. If you make too much noise, you'll be asked to leave. It's so dark in here. It's so dark. And then we hear the whistling. Joe, he's coming! But it becomes an argument. Stop whistling! And he enters the court by bashing a fucking bailiff. Why is he not in handcuffs? This man is violent. Put him in handcuffs. But this is quite a surprise. Big smile upon seeing everyone. Really surprising, because I was thinking at this point, Joe's gonna be like, ugh, fucking idiots, when will they learn? They don't, whatever. But no, he's still grateful to have people there, to see people. But they're worried. He's not worried. They're worried. Don't worry, I'll be good. And then he immediately is not good, because, well, I don't think he understands what it means. I don't think it clicks. Like, these actions are reactive and instant. They don't relate to those other things, to the being good. This is just Joe. He just does. I don't know. Shut up, I got it. We might be in trouble here, kids. Oh, God, the face on Dante. What a grin. He looks so good. You read it, right? I thought he was going to... And it's a bunch of little moments where we're given an opportunity for Joe to act exactly the way he has before, and he acts a little bit different. It's like maybe there's hope for him. But then it's, no, I want to fight you. You want to fight me? No, that's not what I want. And then she's here, and it takes all the wind out of him. All his bluster vanishes, and we get this slow, somber, soft face. Unreadable features. Emotion. Just laden with emotion. Emotion that will later, he'll be like, get her out of here, what a rat. But how true is that in terms of what he actually feels? I don't know. He won't even pay attention. It's like he's doing everything he possibly can to be exactly what they expect. I was reading, I actually genuinely forget which book it was. I was reading a book over the course of the last week about how children given a label will act that label out. Like, if you get told over and over as a child that you act out, that you're a bad kid, that you're a delinquent, you'll act it out. And I'm not super crystal clear on how the phenomenon works, or the way that those kind of identities can be given or forced onto someone. But in every instance, it's like Joe does an internal calculus that's like, how could I act the most like people's negative expectations of me possible? And maybe even beyond that. Maybe even surprise them by how far I'll go. And I think that's a real trait that real people take on when they become convinced by the mirroring of everyone around them that they're one thing. It's like, so everybody expects me to be this thing, I'll show you just how much of that thing I am. And it works on the reverse in virtuous cycle style, right? If everyone around you thinks that you're capable and cool and kind and stuff, that enforces those, and you take those on as identity. You get them reflected back to you, right? Like, if you're the kind of person that people feel safe asking for help with stuff, people are going to ask you for help with stuff, and then you'll be able to help with them with it and say yes, and then that'll confirm to you that you're the kind of person who, and we cycle from there. But if nobody ever asks you for help because they expect you to punch them in the face, you're not going to be approached by people who ask you for help. If you only get treated by authority figures with suspicion, as though you're going to do something wrong, you're going to act that out. I'm not sure how that works exactly, but it seems to be a piece of how Joe operates. As though it's a part of that, give him a chance and he'll throw it away. It's like, give him a chance to demonstrate that he is what you think, and he'll go above and beyond. He'll spit on you while he acts violent. He'll do something additional. Baka! And this sends Sachi off and running. No matter how good we are, if Joe is like that, no matter how we try, we can't save him. He's like denying help, like cutting it off. Sometimes people do this because they think that it'll drag others down with them, or as though their presence in other people's lives will inevitably cause negative effects on the others, but I don't think Joe has this consciously wrapped up. Let's finish this stupid shit up. And by finishing it up, he starts to read a document that basically is a part recap of the show so far with emotional context that the judge could never have, and part historical recap, flashback for Joe. And it's just one piece of Joe that he reads, that Joe didn't have parents, he was abandoned. And then one thing that we see, that he runs away from school in a clever, silly way, and runs away continuously, trains, stealing firewood, doing whatever he has to do to get by, and becoming the boy that he has become. It's so strange. It's so strange to see these pieces, because it's as though those characteristics were already there and have just been reinforced by what he's experienced. But I wonder what he has experienced over these years of travel and delinquency. I don't know. I love the look of the train. I fucking love it. I mean, the snow that goes by, and then the train shakes, and the snow goes by, and then the train shakes. It's so fucking cool. So fucking cool. It's only like 3 frames on each. And I believe it completely. I think this is where we start having really incredible, like, rain and snow visuals. I think they're really cool looking. I like them a lot. All of them create the direction of the scene, acting like speed lines presented on top of everything, right? Creating direction and flow. So cool. His whole youth wandering from place to place. Okay, move on, okay. No more need to talk about this. And Sachi's like having an emotional attachment to Joe the child, and is so pissed at him for talking about this, for like, So he did this, did the delinquency, manipulated the media, deceived people, and also hurt Tange Dampe. This part sends Joe into having to say something. Joe appeared to be touched, but he betrayed his kindness. And furthermore, ha ha ha, he starts to laugh. And it's maniacal and crazy. It's deeply off-putting. It's inhuman a little bit. It's like, that's the wrong response here. And everybody kind of goes, that's really unpredictable and scary, Joe. Don't do that. Kindness? You think that's what he was doing? I think this demonstrates some really clear, like, intuition from Joe. It's the kind of intuition that scumbags have. Scumbags' intuition, we might say. It's like Joe knows what it feels like to manipulate other people for your own ends, and he senses it in Dante. And he senses the layers of like, oh, I'm doing this for your own good. I'm doing this out of kindness and stuff that are represented in the judge's description of it. He feels this disconnect, and he needs to call it out. He knows that's not the reason. He's like, actually, let's talk this through. Tange is not being kind. Tange is doing things for himself. Tange is obsessed with me because I'm a potential tool for him. He doesn't care about me as a person. Not really. It's not really about rehabilitating me. It's all about boxing. It's all about boxing. It's selfishness, not selflessness. It takes the form of selflessness, but it loops back around. And this is the kind of logic that I think cynical people utilize whenever anybody does anything kind. And you can take this to its extreme and demonstrate that any sort of act of kindness or altruism eventually loops back in, at least in a genetic or an evolutionary biology sense. There's some sense in which it does, but I don't think that holds up. I do think it holds here because we know it's true. We know it's true. We know that Dompe's reasoning and his belief in Joe is very personal and very much for his own desires and his own drives. That it has very little to do with Joe himself, except for his talent as a boxer and his inaccessibility, which kind of drives Dante to keep pursuing him. So Joe calls it out. No matter how you look at it, you don't look like you care for kindness or rehabilitation. You just tried to teach me boxing because I looked strong. The truth is, you're doing this for you. A circus trainer teaching a monkey. I'm useful to you because I'll bring you bread, right? But also, I'll reach your dreams for you. I'll do all these things. It's very cynical. And at this point, oh my gosh, now in court they say it was kindness. Quiet, Joe, quiet. I love this, and I wish that he didn't undercut it. I wish that Dante doubled down, like, hard. Because I think that this is where he and Joe can really, truly connect. I think this is where Joe will respect him, even. Is if Dante goes, all right, yeah, we'll dispense with any of the bullshit. I'm not being kind to you. I'm your coach. Right? I'm doing this for me, and you're doing this for you. It's the antidote to the whole thing that we've talked about a dozen times now as we've gone through, that Dante is trying to convince Joe to do this boxing thing for his reasons. Joe, I need you to be a boxer. I need you to be a champion. I need you to be better. But what if we separate that and we say, I have my own reasons for needing this. I need to be a boxing coach. I need a boxer to coach. But you, Joe, you have needs too. And this has, let's separate them out. This isn't about me. I'm not doing a kind thing for you. You need to be a boxer, and I'm your only hope. Because what else are you going to do? You're going to be a delinquent for the rest of your life? You're going to get dead. You're going to fight the Yakuza? You're going to get dead. You're going to be on the streets? You're going to starve. What are you going to do? You're going to find a job? Nobody's going to hire you. What are you going to do? Here's your opportunity. This is your only shot. It's like, if we could level this and be looking at each other as cynical men who who dispense with compassion and kindness and all of those things, because those don't echo in Joe, even if they're real, even if later on we'll be able to see them. If we could just look at each other and go, that's right, Joe, I'm trying to use you. I think Joe goes, cool, I get it. Bet, then I'll use you back. 3 hots, 500 yen, and I'll do the training, and we'll use each other. I think that would make sense to Joe in a way that the kindness thing, the compassion thing, those are the lies that people tell to get you to do what they want. Those aren't real things. Those are the lies that people tell in order to manipulate you. But when they tell you the truth about what they want, you can trust them a little bit. When you can see what they want from you, when you know that they've got their ulterior motives and they're front and center, worn on their chest going, yes, Joe, I want to be a champion boxing coach. Yes, because I failed when I was a boxer. You're my road to do that. You need to be a champion at something. And your best option is boxing, and I'll give you the road forward. I think it could work. It's not quite what we do. I tried to make money off of you. Ha 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 ha. We get this moment where they laugh at each other, and I love it. I love it. It's a spark of what could be. It's a spark of what could be. And maybe it could be more than that. Maybe it could incorporate respect, and it could incorporate care and kindness too later. But for now, just laughing and being like, yeah, both of us are going to get what we want by using each other. How cool is that? That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But it wasn't all about the money. I like the fighting, and I also fell for your arms. It's what made me want to quit and work my ass off, because I wanted to make you the world's best boxer. I can throw away my own life for that. Do you understand? And Joe does understand, but he calls it out. Disgraceful. You are projecting and trying to live vicariously. And I think the sequence of Joe's faces that we get here are really lovely. You want me to carry on your dreams? And we cut further in. You're trying to make me your doll. And he gets further and further, closer and closer to the camera. You're trying to just use me. Stop joking around. I have no time for old men like you. Real question. Then what are you going to use your time for? Because if you got a better option, I'm all ears. Joe comes out of this little exchange victorious. I think emotionally and logically, Joe wins this one hard. You may only talk after I've given you permission. And so we stand with the power dynamic in Dante's favor visually. He stands up in the stands, but he's crushed. And Joe stands there on the witness stand, standing tall, but his victory is Pyrrhic. It's empty. All he's done is crush the hope of somebody who cares about him. The rain rains. And the verdict is dropped. 1 year and a month. No Gookie Island. A little sweat. You happy now? You get what you wanted? What a sad little person. He yells about it. He yells, yeah, stupid. Yeah. You've become really cold. Just don't forget the fighting. Don't forget Joe. The rain is so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love these scenes. And I love this little speech. Today is a miserable day for you, but tomorrow will exist. Your talent will wash all of your sins completely away. You can become someone else. Got it, Joe! For tomorrow! Shut up. What do you mean? This is bullshit. What do you mean? He doesn't get it. He won't get it. As the rain falls, we cry out for Joe, and it's muffled by the rain and the fog. We'll wait. Then we get this moment in the car, as Joe pounds his hat and weeps. We get some of the most beautiful fucking cross-hatching. It's so pretty. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, shudders. He keeps up all these fronts when he's in public, and then as soon as he's in private, he falls apart, and it's unclear what exactly he's feeling. But here he is, caged again, having fought again, gained nothing. He's snapped at all the people who've helped him, and now he's left alone again. Now he's being carted off somewhere that's hell. And he's kept a brave face through all of it. And then he's alone and he's able to let it fall. And the reality is very painful. It's like the knowing that you can't change this, knowing that you've chosen this and you kind of deserve it. It's tough. It's tough to live in deep cognitive dissonance and keep acting in ways that harm yourself. It's really tough. And then you come out of it and you go, what the fuck am I doing, and why am I hurting myself like this? Why do I push away the people who are trying to help me? Why can't I receive love when it's given, or even sense it until it's too late? Why do I end up alone like this? Why do I destroy myself? Why, when I'm given a chance, do I run the other direction? I think if you find yourself here in some degree or another, it's time to look deeply at what pain you're avoiding. Because Joe's trying to avoid, I think, the pain of authenticity, the pain of kindness, because he's lived without it for so long. He's gained a sort of strength of isolation. And to open yourself to that is deeply painful. It reveals to you that all that time that you spent without it, telling yourself that you were better off for not having it, you might not have been. And that means like a piece of you that you believe in dying and all sorts of stuff. But if you feel like this, and you feel like you're unable to face your true feelings, and that like avoidance of those true feelings leads you spiraling out into places you don't want to end up, but you don't know how you got there and you can't unpack it. It's time to find who inside you're avoiding and what hurt you need to reincorporate in your life to let that joy and kindness in. I wonder how we're going to do that for Joe. I wonder how we can change him from a person who pushes every attempt at help, every bit of kindness away, into someone who can be loved. I don't know. I don't know if we can, but I think we can, and I hope we can. So we open on a new day. The rain has stopped. But Sachi has created a little counter for us. 395 tiles. We'll move his sandals so that he gets closer and closer. And Dante says, hey, this year, this big, impossible length of time, I think this is such a powerful message for all of us young people. It's just a little bit of his life. His life, like this road, will stretch onward. And he says something really strange. Like, really strange? Because that's strange enough, but makes sense as an idea. Life is much longer than this 1 year. Let's not let this 1 year define the whole thing. He says his life will go on forever, just like this road. This road doesn't even go on forever, but Joe's life is going to go on forever? Forever? What the fuck do you mean, Dante? His life is going to go on forever? Well, I'll throw you an answer. I'm sitting in 2025 and Joe's alive. Hell, he's only 17, right? However old he is, actually, I don't even know how old he is. Right now, 2025, Joe is alive. Joe's life will go on forever, and this is very strange because the character should not realize this. But in Dante's mind, Joe is already the boxing champion of the world. It's like set out there. It just is. I'm convinced of this as much as Dante is convinced of it. I'm convinced that Dante is speaking about the future in these terms because he fully believes it to be true. His life will go on forever. Joe is going to be immortal. This is more than us. This is more important. And that's really strange. That's really strange. But I think it's the exact attitude that an old man should have toward a young man. Especially when that young man fucks up a little bit. That what you're dealing with isn't one person with a little box around them. They're the future. They're going to take actions moving on to the future that you can't understand. They're going to have children potentially. They're going to go on. Their story will echo on. I mentioned in the last episode that I've got this idea percolating in my mind about a burning heart never dying. It's like, this has shades of that. Joe's life will go on forever? What the fuck do you mean, Dante? That year is far away, but his life will go on forever. On and on it will continue. Right now, he's probably on the boat, and we hard cut over and we're on the boat. Oh, I love the flow of scenes in this episode. It's very strange. It has a very interesting feel and vibe and tone to it. Wham, we're on the boat. Joe is strangely allowed to stand in random places and just be free, I guess. We use this face looking out into the distance, but this time he's looking back at what he's leaving, watching it all fall away behind him. And in the darkness, we find a friend. Our violent boss man enemy from the last episode becomes a crying, huddled, shivering mess with a little bit of blue in his eyes. It's strange. There's this little, anti-fire whoosh that's in his eyes I'm not sure about. Pathetic. I wouldn't have bothered you. You're so lucky. You don't get it. That place is hell. And finally, it makes sense. Last episode makes a lot more sense with this context, that we're going to turn him, the big bad scary, into a little wimp as a setup for what's about to come. That's really cool. It's really cool. It serves to explain last episode a little bit. So Joe stands up and says, look, it's not going to be that bad. They're all just a bunch of boys like us. Me, I've been given nothing. Nothing at all. But I live here today, protecting my freedom with my fists, and so I'm going to keep doing it. I'll do it. We zoom out as he says, when my freedom is taken away, what do I have left? And we zoom in and he says, I'll do it. If it's for my freedom, I'll do anything. Okay. And I think this might be the first time that Joe expresses something as an ideal that he cares about. Something that he actually values. Freedom. Freedom. It's the first time that I feel like we have something we can really plug into. Because if we can draw a line that goes through boxing as a concept, that connects Joe right now to freedom, and boxing is on that road, Joe's going to box. And he's going to do it with joy. Because it'll get him to where he wants to go. Joe wants to be free. I think that also serves to color every interaction that we've had with him. Every interaction we've had with Dante is Dante trying to control Joe. Either through manipulation, or through convincing, or through force, whatever it is. The police, control. School, control. The courthouse, control. Control yourself. Stop laughing. He has to laugh. Don't fight the officers. He has to fight the officers. Freedom above all. You encroach upon Joe's freedom, he retaliates tenfold. So, what happens if we constrict his freedom the most? We put him in jail. Now he's going to fight for his freedom. Good. Good. That's a starting point. We'll see where it takes us. Into the future! Into tomorrow. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Joe. I hope you enjoyed it. That was a lot. I'll see you next time for more. And, I'll see you next week for episode 8. Much love. Peace.